Hi, this is Colin from the History Pilgrim. I'm glad to see that there are more subscribers. I have another interesting historical story. I hope you enjoy. On the evening of November 28, 1942, the Coconut Grove nightclub in Boston, Massachusetts, transformed from a place of glamour to a scene of unspeakable tragedy. What should have been an evening of entertainment turned into one of the deadliest fires in U.S. history, claiming over 492 lives and injuring hundreds more. The horrors of the night not only shocked the nation, but also became the turning point for sweeping reforms in fire safety codes, leaving behind a legacy which continues to this day. The Coconut Grove was one of the most popular nightclubs in Boston. Beneath its opulent facade lay a series of fatal hazards. The club was overcrowded, with over 1,000 patrons packed into a space which was only licensed for 460. Exit doors were either locked or hidden. Decorations, which were highly flammable, were spread across the club, and emergency procedures were non-existent. The fire began in the basement lounge, reportedly sparked by a match used to replace a light bulb. Fueled by flammable fabric draped across the ceilings and floors, the flames spread with terrifying speed. The club, which was filled with flammable fake palm trees, was engulfed by flames. Amid the chaos, one employee tried to extinguish the fire in a way that seemed comical at first. The man, spotting a bottle of seltzer water behind the bar, grabbed it and began trying to put out the flames. While it may have seemed absurd, the reality of the situation was anything but funny. The lack of appropriate exits turned the club into a death trap. Panicked patrons struggled against locked doors, revolving exits jammed, and a stampede crushed many. Within 15 minutes, the inferno consumed the building, leaving devastation in its wake. The sheer scale of the disaster sent a shockwave across the nation. Hospitals were overwhelmed, with victims many suffering from severe burns and smoke inhalation. Families grieved as authorities worked to identify the dead. Public outrage grew as investigations revealed how negligent greed and inadequate safety measures contributed to the disaster. The fire was a wake-up call for both the public and policymakers. The urgent loss of life highlighted glaring mistakes in fire safety measures and spurred an urgent call to action. This tragic fire led to major changes in fire safety regarding exit doors. One key development was the requirement for doors to open outward. This change allowed for more efficient exits in future fires in order to help prevent bottlenecks. In contrast, the doors in the TV sitcom Cheers, which is set at a bar in Boston, open inward, which highlights that the show was not actually filmed in Boston. Because many of the survivors had incredibly severe full-body burns, several medical advancements in burn treatment were made during this disaster. One of the most significant discoveries was the importance of managing fluid loss in burn victims. Large full-body burns cause the body to lose fluids at a dangerous rate, leading to hypovolemic shock, a condition which was poorly understood at the time. Doctors at Massachusetts General Hospital began to administer intravenous fluid to maintain blood pressure and hydration. This marked one of the first large-scale applications of fluid resuscitation in medical history. Chilling as the fire was, it could have been even worse. For example, had it been a windier night, the flames likely would have spread and burned down a significant portion of Boston, possibly killing thousands more. On the night of the fire, the club was stuffed more than double its intended capacity. Many patrons were trapped, unable to escape through enough exits. Had the fire happened 1 hour later, even more people would have been in the establishment. The inferno burned many victims so severely their remains were unrecognizable. It is said that on cold winter nights in Boston, near the site, the faint sounds of jazz music can be heard, which is very spooky as there are no clubs in that area of Boston today. While the nightclub was completely destroyed by the inferno, a residential building occupies the space where the club once stood. The memorial is embedded in the sidewalk along Piedmont Ave, marked with a plaque. Visitors can reach the site via the Orange Line, which has a nearby station. In conclusion, the Coconut Grove fire is a haunting reminder of how lack of proper safety measures can be extremely tragic. As we reflect on the lives lost, we must remain vigilant in ensuring safety measures are upheld. This incident reminded us that tragedy often sparks the progress needed to save lives in the future. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe and share with a friend. Sincerely, the History Pilgrim.